call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Joanne, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Briley?
Here.
Mrs. Minnie?
Here.
Mr. Blitzer?
Here.
Mr. Apple?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull here.
Would somebody like to make a motion to approve our consent agenda for $73,357.31?
I will make that motion.
There's a motion, we have a second. Support. We have a motion and support. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Briley?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Citizens wishing to address the Board of Trustees. David Kleinstecker?
Yes, question regarding 3695 Ferndale again. I do have the letters that were sent, and I know when I was here last meeting, it seemed to me that there was thought that maybe he had sent the letters and might have been a deadline given to get the permits pulled, but neither letter, the one sent on the 16th or the one today.
Well, there's a 14-day response time.
Oh,
It's automatic.
neither one even gives a response time. It just says, please inform us. It doesn't give a deadline to respond or
Well,
on the letters, and so
if they don't respond in 14 days, he'll go after them.
or something. I mean, is this gone to the part yet, like it happened last time, where the ticket's been issued yet or anything else?
No, they'll issue,
Because we all know they don't do anything unless they've got a deadline staring them in the face.
well, he'll issue a ticket after the 14 days.
Okay.
I think he sent the second letter today.
Yeah, and that doesn't, it just says, the same thing, that, please indicate your response. It doesn't say respond by such and such a day, or you have 14 days to respond, or,
Well, I think they know that, I mean, we've been dealing with him now for 2 years, so.
What are they supposed to be responding to?
They'll respond to the zoning administrator.
yes, either to the zoning administrator or to Mr. Apple, on either one, because
Yeah.
that was my question, that there's neither letter has, you must respond by such and such within so many days. And I've had neighbors say, Dave, you go to meetings, where are the timetables? And I go and say, now, I don't know. So,
Probably wouldn't hurt to add that to the letter.
We could add, I'll have to make sure that he puts that in there,
I'm not one that likes assume people will know or understand anything, so. Now, is it gone to the point where any tickets were issued like last time, or?
He will issue a ticket after the second hearing.
Okay.
Is that what go after them means? Mike, when you said he'll go after them, does that mean issue a ticket?
Pardon me?
When you said he'll go after them, I think those were the words you used. What is that?
Well, yeah,
That means issue a ticket?
Yeah, he'll do the process then, issue him a ticket.
Do you know how many tickets have to be issued then before it goes before a magistrate?
I think we only issue one.
I think last month was 3, over a period of 3 months. And they each increased in fines, and, cause I know, like, the last one Mike said, usually the third one, when it's about a $500 penalty, that's when it gets people's attention.
We changed that.
We've already changed that.
Oh,
What is the?
I don't have those in front of me. We raised it substantially. Did we go to 500?
I think we did.
The third one was
I wasn't
500.
at
We
that
raised them.
meeting, I wasn't there, but. You remember?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
The first one's 500, wasn't it?
No.
No.
I think so, the last
I
one.
think it was 250, 500.
Okay.
I'd have to do that.
Yeah, me too. I have that in front of me.
okay, so after 14 days on this one, because obviously they didn't respond after the last one, and then one just went out today certified.
Certified.
And then for the 14 days, then a ticket would be issued then? or-
Actually, he will
Okay.
contact them in, well, 2 weeks from today.
And then,
14 days.
and then another ticket after that. Ticket's good for
Well,
every
the
30 days or?
I'd have to check, I'm not sure,
Okay.
you know, exactly what the time
Yeah,
was.
maybe everybody's just kind of throwing their hands up and saying, why do you bother wasting the time? It's,
No.
nothing's gonna happen, but,
It's slow, but I think it's happening. I mean, I think we've seen progress, but it's slow, it's hard.
Yeah.
For people that don't want to follow the rules, it's
Yeah.
really
no,
tough,
and I know you had to start over again back in September,
over and over.
Well, yeah, we started the whole process over again.
the second time, yeah.
But at least we did get some response, we got them to clean it up and,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
board it
true.
up and clean it up, and hopefully now that they're gonna, you know, carry on with what they need to do. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
If not, we'll be in court.
All right, thank you.
Don Churchman?
Yes, sir. We have a number of items tonight, the first of which is what's the status on the North Shore Resort, the red tagging, and just the...
Well, to wrap it all up, I'm waiting for a response from our attorney. It was sent down there today, and I'm waiting for a response from him. So until we hear from him, you know, it's as it is right now, you know.
Because they're continuing this.
I know they are, I know they are. It's been, all the information has been sent down there, and I'm waiting, and I don't know whether our attorney was even in the office today, but it was sent down there for his review, and he will contact me, hopefully I'll hear from him tomorrow.
There was more work being done today?
Not today.
Not
Well,
today.
probably because of the weather,
Yeah.
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 Since they've been red tagged and fined, they've continued to put roofing on. They've removed asbestos siding over the weekend. They've sandblasted, they've painted.
Replace siding.
Well, yeah, they put some sort of cover over top of when they had removed the asbestos.
Well, and that's where it stands right now, as soon as we hear from. And,
So they've been ticketed and fined as well?
he sent him out another letter today.
Another letter? Okay. With like a 14-day kind of letter
Was
type
that
of
what-
thing?
Yeah, it did have a 14-day in it. In fact, both letters, the first one he sent had a 14-day deadline. He isn't, he's just gone ahead and, you know,
Yeah.
so, that's where we are. As soon as I find out, I'm going to let you know what, you know, the procedure is. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I have just another thing. I know if somebody applies for a DEQ permit to put riprap and to change their shoreline or to kind of build up a little island type of thing, and if they go through the proper channels and a DEQ permit is issued, then you receive a copy of that, and it's published on our bulletin board. So if there isn't anything on the bulletin board, then it's a safe assumption that no permit has been.
Actually, there's not one on there right now, there should be unless someone removed it.
Yeah, there is for Zuben, yeah,
Mhm.
the same, yeah.
Okay. We do receive it, and I do post it.
Okay. So if there's none posted, then it's a safe assumption that no permit has
I
been.
certainly hope so.
Okay.
Are you looking for something?
Yeah, the same place, the North Shore Resort, they've brought in heavy equipment, like huge monster equipment, I don't even know what you call them. And gigantic boulders the size of, they're beautiful, they're absolutely gorgeous boulders. And a mountain of dirt, and they're kind of redoing their shoreline, I guess, so to speak. And probably to protect it because there's a huge amount of erosion. So I think that they're
Have you contacted the DEQ?
not with respect to that particular issue.
I haven't received anything on it.
Yeah, there's nothing come through this office.
So it should be a neighbor's responsibility to contact the
No.
DEQ with level.
No, but I wondered if you had, because I know
Oh.
you had a question, I wasn't even aware of it, so.
Yeah, yeah, I can,
Without being notified, you know, there's really no reason I would be aware of it. I don't go down there,
mhm.
so.
So, I mean, it's just right there, when I look out my window, would pictures be helpful, or what?
There's nothing I can do anyway, that's a DEQ issue.
Okay, all right. So I would be the one responsible, or the onus would be on me to file a complaint of some sort with the
An
DEQ?
inquiry anyway, not necessarily, I suppose our zoning administrator could,
That property is not in the high erosion, so does it require DEQ?
anything on the water requires DEQ at least.
Anything?
I think so,
Mhm.
Is it for sure?
I think
Yeah.
so. Anything on the
Okay.
shore
It's
like
on
that.
All right, 'cause I know that your property's in the high erosion,
Mhm.
but Norm's house next door is not. And on up, they're not.
Any
Why
work,
they're not, I don't know. but-
any work done within 500 feet, I believe, of the water
Mhm.
requires a permit.
Yeah, that
And
notice
they've
is
been-
posted
they've
right
been-
on the bulletin
That's,
board.
that's not a DEQ permit, that's a soil erosion permit.
That's a soil
That's with St. Clair
erosion.
County.
Yes, and that's
So
not
we're
been,
talking two different things here.
Okay.
They're talking DEQ, you're talking soil erosion.
okay.
Two different worlds.
So it sounds like probably both are required.
Both are
then.
required though.
Soil erosion would be if you're disturbing more than, I think it's 125 square feet, which obviously is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm really not sure about DEQ.
Is
on there.
Zubin in a high risk or erosion area? Zubin?
Zubin?
Yeah.
We'd have to look.
Yeah.
We have the list here,
Okay.
the tax numbers, but I know we looked last year when Norm was doing that stuff. Last year we looked and that's why I was shocked that, because I knew your guys' was before and, but even his house is.
Yeah, we're not talking his house, we're talking the resort.
No, but I'm just saying, your lot is, and his lot, butts up to yours and he's not in the high erosion, I mean,
Right.
and your beaches look the same, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I don't,
What's the,
I
what's the
don't
criteria?
know what
for
the
being-
criteria is for sure.
Well, I don't think it would hurt for you to call as a neighbor.
Is that still Maria Sanchez? Is that Maria Sanchez?
I don't know.
Maria,
That's- I
no,
didn't
she
think so, I think she
got
retired.
somebody else.
Somebody
I
else.
think it's Katie
From the
Fairchild.
district.
Oh,
I think Katie Fairchild is for our district now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But as far as the soil erosion, that's the,
St. Clair County.
Health County still, I think.
So
That would
Dave
be Lowell.
Richmond or Lowell Cameron or?
Lowell.
Lowell, okay.
Do they have septic
For the
permit?
county.
I have no idea. They don't have a building permit.
They don't have a building permit.
They have a septic permit, but that's from 1971.
Right, but I mean, obviously, that's way past.
It's only for two lavatories and 2 toilets. And there's probably 24 combination of toilets, sinks, and lavatories. I mean, that's the latest thing that the county has.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they've updated it, but I mean, that's, as of last year, last August, or July, that's all that was on file.
Yeah, with us being in a high-risk erosion area, it's even more important that we understand what they're doing as far as building their own sort of jetty out there, because what that does is causes more erosion to the properties to the south.
I think you have every right to inquire on that.
Yeah, I would do it. And then I just have one last question. I missed the January Planning Commission meeting, but I watched it online, and the issue of our trash receptacle ordinance was brought up, and our dumpster ordinance, and there's a freestanding ordinance. So I'm trying to understand if that ordinance stands alone, or if the ordinance only applies to, seems to only apply to 2 people in the township that I can see, and that's Vinnie's Market and then the other, the mobile station. And this probably isn't even the correct forum, maybe that goes to the planning commission, or who can help clarify the dumpster ordinance?
I think the chairman, Paul Richards, would be the best
Paul
contact.
Richards? Okay.
The dumpster ordinance is for any new construction.
It's-
Anything that was existing is exempt. Like Lakeport Market, the restaurant, Duffy's.
Only if there's new construction,
Mhm.
Yeah,
not if there's new ownership.
no,
Really? That's very strange.
shouldn't.
Should.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah, it should.
No, it shouldn't. That's a whole other argument, I'm glad to argue with him later, but, no.
When, in talking with other zoning administrators, dumpsters are not allowed in residential areas, but we make an exception for that in Burtchville. Seems like. Is this something that can be, has our new zoning book been codified yet?
No,
No.
it's in the
It's
process.
getting real close,
It's close.
and that's what I don't remember exactly, but that was part of why we were talking about it. There was something that had to be corrected, I think, in the codification on the zoning. I had to go back
And
and
we've got all that
remember.
stuff put together, and it's all being sent to the codification company as we speak, right? Bob's in the process of putting that
I
all
think it's all there.
We have a gentleman across the street from us that's trying to sell his house, but when he walks out his front door, his vision is a big red Marcotte dumpster. That's what he looks at when he looks out his picture window or walks out his front door.
And that's in front of our residence?
Yes.
Oh, it's Norm's, so we're the resort. I look at it every day myself. That's the backyard of the lake. And unfortunately, my front yard faces the backyard of all theirs. Down in Esther's yard, beautiful. I mean, there's no ifs and ands about it, but
But
that's
it's two front yards.
only thing that would change, if the ordinance, if they said he just had to put a
Fence around it?
fence around it, or block the structure, whatever, but it would still stay there, so. But
Or maybe move it down Washington Street so that Frank.
Well, I think those are all things that they'll have to work out, I think we probably need to move on here.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there, do you have any other question? Okay. Okay, I would ask for, is there anybody else that wishes to address the board? Okay, hearing none, I think we'll move on to the agenda. Do they approve our agenda? Somebody care to make a motion to approve our agenda?
I will just put the agenda.
We have a motion, we have a support.
I will.
We have a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to the department reports. Mark, fire?
No report.
No report, thank you. Building department now.
I got a question before he goes on.
Oh.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Had they started doing any of the inspections?
No, we're just finishing up the letter to get that sent out, and we do have one fireworks store has sent in a request for inspection to the state, so we'll be doing that. But the businesses, we're just getting
their
ready to
letter?
kick it off real soon here.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. No?
No, but Mark, to answer your other question about the culvert on the road, there's an estimate in there.
Right.
Yeah, we do have, we're going to discuss
So
it.
I don't know if you, how long you're staying or whatever.
Okay, water department, the hydrants, we begin flushing on May 1st, 2015, continue through the 26th of 2015. We did have a few mysteries of our water usage was way up, but I guess a lot of people reported some leaks when they got back from there. And so we seem to have that under control now, so Dusty said everything seems to be in range. So. Other than that takes care of the water department. Jane, the library?
The only thing is that being that season of the year when storms can come through, I was told at my last systems meeting for the library that we should confirm where we would go in case of a tornado, and if I'm remembering correctly, we decided for the library that's the bathrooms.
Or the paintball.
As long as you don't.
That's pretty sure.
Yes, if he goes outside, he's going to get blown away.
You don't want to be on an inside.
And then
inside wall.
does the township have any policies that says that we have to have like a tornado drill or something? I know the main library was going to do a drill, but anything is left up to the municipality. You don't have a policy that says that I need to do a drill.
No.
Okay. All I needed to know.
Okay.
I've got a question for Jane.
Okay.
You guys aren't there in the dark anymore now, right? So you don't know. It looked dark over there this morning, when I'll look in the morning, I guess myself. I don't know if the flag lights burn out.
Oh,
It looked awful dark in the front there this morning, about 6 o'clock.
You know, I
Is it the light
haven't-
on at the old township?
No.
Isn't that-
by the time I
I
get there
don't know,
now.
but the lights were on the back, the two were all on the same timer, I think.
Yeah,
So I don't know if the bulbs burned
The
out.
light was on at the library, at the old hall.
By the entrance to the door.
Right.
But I don't think that light for the flagpole,
Oh,
it might be burned
you know
out.
what, I didn't see that.
But I'll look in the morning. It'll be
Yeah,
dark.
because
Okay.
I've been getting there at a time when it might not be
Yeah,
on.
I'll look into that. Thanks.
Okay, unfinished business, employee salaries.
Well, we had passed, actually, that we were going to go by the cost of living, but then we found out that's 1.7%. And I thought we,
much.
It's less than what we,
Well, that wasn't what came up when we were discussing it.
but that's not what it was.
It's 1.7, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it
You
is.
looked that up on your smartphone or something.
Talked to both our auditors and,
The smartphone wasn't the smart.
Yeah, the smartphone didn't get it
Right.
right.
well, you know what, you had to make sure you were into the right year, because I ran into that too.
Well,
So
maybe.
it's 1.7%, I thought maybe we wanted to readdress that.
It should. Because we did it at what?
we gonna readdress the insurance thing too?
Well, if we could ever get any response with that, yeah. Yes, but we could readdress the one, yes,
Were we gonna, executive committee to do that, or?
if that's what you
Yeah,
would
we would,
prefer.
yeah.
Okay.
To discuss the salaries, we'd have to go into executive session.
So we do it at the end?
So do you wanna do it at the end, or do you wanna, get the rest of the stuff out of the way? I'm
Sure.
People wanna stay around for.
I would think we could do it at the end, but that's up to you guys too.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move that down to the end. New business, L&J's contract for the water department.
That's the same, I think,
I think it's the same as last year.
and the year before, and the year before.
Yeah, and,
Is, okay, this contract, this is just for new services and stuff.
new services.
It's not for any of the repair work.
Well, it never has been, Al.
I thought we had an hourly rate on it.
Well, we do have an hourly rate, everything's right on here. The backhoe, the dumpster,
Okay, I guess I didn't.
yeah, everything is right up on here.
I guess I didn't get that.
I didn't
Oh, you
either.
haven't got one?
I don't either.
I do.
Okay.
Which
Oh,
is fine.
Here, you guys wanna look at it, I'll.
No,
I don't either.
That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, it encompasses the whole deal, if they have to.
Well, I thought it used to, but then I seen this, so I thought,
He's got dewatering on here per day and tear down and,
Yeah.
Look at that, yes, is it all on one page?
It's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's 2 pages.
No, I don't have
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
One page.
Copy that.
Well, this is my 1 page.
I don't have that one.
And I think.
Well, then we each
it's,
have different 1 pages,
Apparently,
because
You wanna look
mine
at
looks like yours.
Well, here,
So I looked at Jody's,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well then,
yeah, see, this is our, you don't have another page?
I do.
I don't
But that's
have that.
apparently because I didn't realize there were 2 pages with it, so we must have just spread it out.
yeah, I looked at Jody's.
Every other person got a different page.
It's the same
It's
contract
exactly the
that
same
we've had.
contract.
for-
we
Okay.
had for
I think we've had for
multiple
3 years. He hasn't raised the price.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I didn't have that, that's why I was asking.
years. Good.
And he's very dependable.
And I didn't know
I would
that.
make a motion that we accept this water contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, I am going to abstain, just because helped him a couple of different
okay.
times.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
he got fined, this guy, whatever, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's why I'm abstaining, but that's why I was asking, because I was gonna have a problem, I don't do this. I've never helped him with the stuff that's on his front page.
Yeah, okay,
So,
yeah,
I just
okay.
don't
Okay.
wanna conflict.
No, that's totally
So,
fine. So we have a motion and a second on the floor to accept, what is it, J?
Ellen J.
Ellen J. contract, yeah. So, I guess, do we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure, Mr. Ethel?
Yes.
Mr. Flansman?
Yes.
Mr. Breiler?
I understand.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Sign it.
Sorry about that.
The Old Township Hall floor. Have we,
We didn't actually vote on that, did you know that?
no, I knew we didn't, 'cause that's why. I
He didn't
never-
have a cost.
I thought we,
Yeah, I did have.
Yeah, you did have a cost. No, we didn't
41.
vote
for
on it.
41. Oh, we did,
Yeah, it was to strip it down 4,100, put up,
yeah, the 3,100 I was thinking of was for paint.
for painting the chapel.
Right,
So we just need to approve that, is that?
Yeah, we never approved it, I was gonna call it, but and then I remembered, well, I wasn't involved, but we didn't approve the money.
and with the knowledge that the Friends of the Library have already committed to donating $1,000 toward that, so in fact, this will only cost us $3,100.
But I guess I would like to explain to make sure that all the board members know, Herb, when he looked at that floor, he said this is probably, you know, the last time, if we don't maintain that floor and put a coating on it every year, the next time, he said they'll sand it, they'll do the best job they can, they'll fill it wherever it needs filling. He said, but he thinks, you know, with his experience, that if it ever had to be sanded again, there's not enough there to do it again.
But putting a coating on every year
But he
would
said
cost
if you coated it every year, you know, and figure it's gonna cost you $1,000 probably to go in there and top it every year, you know, without sanding it down. So I just wanted everyone to be aware of you know, what he said, so. That being said,
We're gonna.
do we have a motion on the floor?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just, we're gonna work that around the library.
Well, we'll have to work
We'll have to work it around the schedule.
And make
Yeah,
sure
I was going to
America's-
ask, is there any particular time frame that you're looking at?
We don't know yet.
I guess we're gonna have to contact him and see what kind of a time frame he's got, and then, you know, we'll probably all have to work together in setting that up.
Between that and around what?
The biggest event that we have that would have to be inside is the Mother's Day tea, which is actually the week after Mother's Day this year, which is May 16th.
Yeah, it won't be that quick. I'm sure it won't be that quick,
That's covered.
Okay.
you know. But we'll get together, I'll get a hold of Herb, and then we'll sit down and.
And then, yeah,
figure it out.
the other thing that has the heads of for each of the branch libraries and the administrators meet once a month, and they are looking at meeting at Burtchville in October. So that would be the first Wednesday of
Hopefully it'll be
October.
all done by then.
We'll have a nice floor to look at when they come.
Yes, I really wouldn't want to seat them outside.
Not in October.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Mr. Breiler?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Flatzer?
Yes.
Mr. Ethel?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes. This is the first actually cost to the general fund that restoration has been, because the other cost came from the water department as a payment for years of renting and not paying rent. And anyway, hopefully this will solve the floor problem for a while.
Okay. County Road Commission work orders.
Excuse me.
This is a work order to remove and replace one 57 by 38 by 40 10 gauge poly-coated, what do they call them, culverts.
Culvert?
And we got a price of $9,000 to replace that on Norman Road.
This is the one down.
This
Schroeder's.
Yeah, it's the one, it's the one,
With the hole in it?
yeah, with the hole in it. It's been leaking forever, so. Somebody would like to make a motion that we,
I'll make a motion that we repair that.
I'll second. We have a motion and support. Is there any comment? Roll call vote, please, Carolina.
Mr. Fryland?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes. Thank you.
Supervisor's report. I guess the only thing I have is, we're going to maintain our Little League fields. Fort Gratiot is going to be using those scheduling practices and ball games on those because we kind of combined our Little Leagues together because we didn't have enough kids up here, to have 3 or 4 teams to be competitive. So our kids are playing down there, and most of the kids, they're either playing at Fort Gratiot, or they're playing up at Croslex, because they go to school up there, and Little League, as long as they're going to school down there, they can play in Fort Gratiot, so. But the problem was with Fort Gratiot is they don't have enough ball fields to support with our kids in there, so we'll be maintaining the ball fields, and they'll be, and I told them that they need to schedule their practices and schedule those fields, so that we don't really want to be involved. I mean, we'll maintain the fields like we've always have, but, we're not going to get involved in scheduling practices and, people calling here to want their teams to practice, so that they were going to have to take care of all that through Fort Gratiot, so.
Yeah, we've never done that, have we?
No, and we didn't really want to get involved in that.
Well, and do they understand that, I'm sure they do, that we can't just write them a check directly? All we can do is pay for specific lawn.
They don't expect us to write any checks whatsoever, other than what we make, as long as we we're cutting.
Mow the lawn.
We're mowing the lawns, that's all we're gonna be expected to do.
Pay for the
is
electricity.
Is maintain, pay the electricity, and pay for the fields.
Porta johns are over there, correct?
Are they over there?
Well, we haven't scheduled it over there, though.
I haven't scheduled them yet because we hadn't approved this.
Oh, okay. But we're gonna do
I
that.
think we should.
Okay.
I think we should just for sanitary reasons.
Well, if they're going to be using it, I didn't know. for sure
Well,
they were
I
gonna be
could
using
call them and ask them, maybe we can pass it along to them, but, I could call
it.
them.
Well,
But I think, in all honesty, if they don't want to do it, or they say they're not going to do it, then we should put them over there anyway. We put 2 over there?
I think
Or just 1?
right.
And I think, I will try to pass that,
When
I'll try to pass that cost off to them, but I think to save time and stuff, if Fort Gratiot doesn't want to pay for them, then we should continue on like we always have.
Right, but when you say we're maintaining it, you just mean mowing and,
Just the same thing that we always did before.
well, that varied according to what they needed. They would request specific things from us if they needed, like.
Well, if we
things
find that there's some fences broke or something.
Or the stands are broken. or-
Yeah, but I don't, I think the fields are in pretty good shape.
They were,
Yeah.
hopefully nobody.
But they maintain the fields themselves and line them and everything?
They'll line the fields, yeah, we don't have to do any of that. All we need to do is cut them and, like we have in the
We
past.
provided diamond dust before, but again, we have to go by our budget, they would understand.
Well, but
that.
I think being that they're, gonna be using our fields, and it's, combined with their Little League, if they've got any costs over there as far as diamond dust or anything like that goes, that they should take care of it.
Bring it with them.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think tonight, and just in case they don't want to put the porta johns there, that we should, so if we need a vote to do that, or I guess we're gonna spend money, so I'll make a motion that if Fort Gratiot doesn't want to pay for the porta johns over at the Little League Diamond, that we will pick up the cost of that. Support. We have a motion and support. Is there any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Brylant?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
Motion carries. That's all I have. Caroline, clerks?
Couple things, if you noticed under your correspondence, finally, the MTA meetings, on the road meetings for the spring are coming back to Fort Erie. We haven't had them in years because of the hotel not being open and whatever. So that's June 3rd. I need to have your reservation if you want to go by May 1st is the very latest to get the
Do you need the sheet filled out, or just tell you?
You can just tell me.
I'm going.
Okay.
If I could just intercede, one other thing that I probably should mention too, that I'll be going to a supervisors convention in Chelsea Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, so I won't be in the office. Just to make everybody aware, so everybody knows that.
Okay. And anyway, again, as soon as you can all let me know, just to let you know for sure, the drain funds that we requested be transferred from, the money in the drain funds scheduled for Burtchville Township, we had asked that it be transferred to our match money for roads and ditches, and that has been approved. So our road fund has increased.
If I could interrupt you for one thing too,
Keep
Go ahead.
forgetting.
You're fine.
Well, when you mentioned the ditching, we had that
$10,000
ditching, and that's one of those things that if we don't use it, we lose it, so.
That was a thing from the state of Michigan?
If anybody in their travels knows of anything that really is imperative that we get done, it'd be a good time to use that money, so we don't.
Well, we have to use it this year.
And if there isn't anything that's rushed, then we're gonna do some maintenance work on what we've already got, so, because if we don't spend it, they're not gonna put it back in our pocket, so. That's all, I'm not saying another word.
You can say all you want, I don't care.
I'm done.
Okay, so the other thing is, it was mentioned to me that we've always had, and I don't even know the guy's name, a resident down by the Harris Road Beach down at our park who used to grade our beach every year. He no longer has any of his equipment, he can't do that anymore, so,
Jim Perry.
is that his name?
Jim Cindy, they just come to Worthing.
Okay, well, they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So we need somebody to.
Well, that isn't what I was told. Okay.
Did they move?
They didn't do it last year. Well, they lived up.
What?
Gravel pit. They just sold their house.
They did
They're
sell it.
trying to buy a small house here in Burtchville, but they haven't found anything.
Because
Is
they
that-
were
is
gonna
that-
build, weren't they?
Yeah, but they're not gonna, they bought a house in Florida.
Anyway,
Is that something we need to take care of? I don't know.
He just did it, I mean.
He just did it,
We never used to, but we never.
unless we got a complainer that it was,
I haven't even looked at it, has anybody else?
well, I've been down there, it looks
It
fine.
changes
It's
with the water.
sand, it's beach, it's a beach,
It's
I mean, I don't see.
There's not as much as there was last year.
No, yeah, there isn't. I guess that's something we can take care of down the road if somebody requests it.
Well, I think that's all I had. That's all I had.
Jody, treasurer report?
Nope, I'm not doing
Cindy?
The only thing is, and Jane's here, have you found any of the changing tables for the bathrooms over there?
Honestly, I haven't had time, but I looked at some, but I
Okay,
didn't bring any prices back in.
okay.
And my other request from before too, if I can just throw it in here, were numbers or something above
Oh, yeah,
the door
the doors.
on the old hall, because we're getting to that shower and season again, and people like to know that they're in the right place.
We
I
had
guess.
those
Yeah,
numbers
we-
you said.
We talked about that in our budget, because we actually have to have the siding cut in and painting done to put it in there correctly. The stuff's hopefully over at Dusty's building.
I think so.
The letters, they were all made for it already.
it. So maybe there's a for sale sign over there too? We talked a couple months ago about putting a for sale sign on the property we own on Harris Road and Lake Shore.
I believe it is, isn't it?
Don't you think if we were trying to sell that, we should put a for sale sign?
That wouldn't hurt.
Like we talked about.
Do some looking. See what we find.
That's it, for me.
Okay.
Okay, just a couple questions. One is the cemetery. When we sell lots to residents and non-residents, what is it, 250 and 450?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. If you're non-resident, it's 450. But what is a non-resident? Is that,
A non-resident doesn't live here.
okay.
That's not somebody that has a cottage here.
Okay, so all the people that have cottages, they're considered non-residents?
That's right, and they are
That's-
paying the
that's for sure.
450.
Well, I understand that, but I just
Right.
want to make sure that, but I don't think they've all been handled that way, but I'm not 100% sure and I don't care. And,
Well, I have,
well, that's fine.
because it's only fair, I think.
That's fine, I just,
Yeah, I know.
I
what
wanted
you
to
mean.
ask because we just sold lunch, and I just assumed that if you're a property owner, taxpayer in Burtchville Township, that you would get that rate. But-
That's not a resident.
Okay, that's fine.
But if the board wants to discuss that and, I don't care, I mean, that's, but
Well, I don't know where it's actually defined, so I don't just say resident.
a resident is where your permanent resident is, residence and your voting,
Your mailing
Then
address.
that's
your
the way-
mailing address, your voter ID.
That's the way it is, that's the
But-
way it is, so.
It's up, I don't, if you want to bring that up for discussion, I don't.
Well, I don't.
I think that's something that we might want to put on the agenda
Yeah.
at a later date, you know. If, you know.
Well, I
if
thought
it's
we
a-
were all talking about the fact that our lots were too cheap anyway.
Well, some people think they are, but other people think they're not, so.
Mm.
And that's fine, I just wanted to make sure on that.
Okay, well, that's the way that I've been handling it.
Okay. And then, my other question, there's a property on Shorewood, 3677 Shorewood. And I had Marilyn look this stuff up. The people are, I think they're trying to do an addition on it or something. Back July of 2013, actually, there was no record on it. She pulled this off the computer. July 2013, Mike Riley was his zoning enforcement officer at the time. He said, pursuant to our conversation, I'm closing the application for the required variance request and closes an application to the ZBA. You will need to complete the application return form filing fee for $300 to the township. And then that's all she could find in the computer. Well, then a couple days later, I was talking to her, and I don't know where she found, I think this was in the computer too. It's our heading. It's the zoning board of appeals, 3677 Shorewood, Lynn Wilhelm, variance request. A whole bunch of stuff here, but it doesn't say, well, it does, it says, secondly, the parcel does not have a unique feature. Anyhow, long story short, there's no date on it, there's no signature, whether the zoning board of appeals did it. But do we have a book where we keep all the variances?
All the variances that have been granted,
Yes.
I keep the ZBA minutes, and that's the variances.
Okay, so they're all in a book, so we can,
All the ones I have
so where would we find that?
in my office.
In your office?
Mhm.
Okay,
It says right on it, ZBA, it's right across from my desk, ZBA
okay.
minutes.
So we can
And what
look in
that
there.
is usually is they have the meeting
Yeah.
and then they also approve it at the next meeting, right?
I think, yeah, they have to have a second meeting to approve
For
the minutes.
approval.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have
But
all
this
those.
is, yeah, so, and I don't know what,
Is that something they were gonna do and then they decided they weren't gonna do it?
Can I see that?
yeah, I can see the whole thing. That's why I'm asking
I know
here,
that that
because-
came up, I know, that wasn't that long ago.
Well, it was July 2013, when they were talking to Mike
Requested.
Riley.
But I don't think that's when it happened.
But I think they decided that they weren't gonna do the addition at that time,
Well-
and I don't think they wanted to spend the money
Well,
for the ZBA. for
And I
the
think you're
variance.
right on that too. I'd have to
Well,
look
well,
at
I
that.
didn't think they did either, but then Clyde Taylor called me, wanting a septic field on this thing, he wants a price from you, because he's gonna be putting this, tearing part of this off, putting this foundation out 10 feet, and I'm like, I don't think.
Well, that's like a
you know,
whoops.
it's
Let's-
like- it's
I don't
like
think
you're
so,
wasting- You're
really.
wasting your time here, and that's what I was trying to find out,
Well, whether they, yeah, whether they.
and I'm totally lost on this, so.
I don't
Well, I think
recall.
before you
We can look in your book.
do any digging, we better
Well, I'm
make
not doing
sure.
anything without, but I mean, that's, so, if we can look in your book after reading it. So you
This
do
has gotta
have,
be a letter, this has gotta be a letter from Mike Riley. It's not,
it's our letterhead, it's all, but there's no date, no name.
well, yeah, but I wonder if there
Other-
was,
All right, we
I
can
wonder if
look
there
at
was
it,
a
that's
second
fine.
page.
That's fine, I don't want,
Drag it on?
Very on
Okay,
for that, so.
we'll
Okay,
find out.
moving on. Extended public comment, anybody? Hearing none, I guess we'll move to go into closed session for the employee salaries.
I'll move to go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session, we have a second,
I'll second.
and we have a second.